This episode of Power Up is brought to you by Promo Corner's Page Flip. Not going to in-person trade shows this year and still need to get your catalogs out to those distributors? Upload your digital catalog to Promo Corner's Page Flip. Contact sales at promocorner.com.
Power up. Okay, so everybody is always concerned about, what do I talk about, right? What content can I create? There's a lot of things that you could create, but I want you to start to think about, when you put a piece of content out, what is the purpose behind that piece of content? Because that is going to change everything about how you show up and why you show up and the spirit and intention of how you show up. Okay. So behind every video is a purpose. What is yours? Let's talk about the various purposes that we can have. So, do you want to create awareness with your video? Are you looking to inspire your audience? Are you maybe going to educate somebody on a new product or a service, right? Are you going to entertain? Now, this is a very different type of video. Are you doing a video because you really have a promotion? You need to get it out there and you need to create a big buzz. Or are you just, trying to grow your credibility? Well, let's start with the video that's really important. If you don't have this video, you need this video more than anything. It's called the About Me video. Have you heard about it? It's all about you. So I have seen some really terrible About Me videos, and I'm sure you're probably thinking, what should I talk about in an About Me video? Well, people want to know the story behind the story. Okay. So, how did you get started? What's the history of your business? What does your company specialize in? Yes, but I want to hear stories in your About Me video. It's going to make it a heck of a lot more interesting, right? So people love hearing the evolution. How did you get started? Give us some of those juicy details, right? But I want to hear the reason behind why you started. Like, why are you so passionate about what it is you do? When you can show your passion in your About Me video, that's going to be a game changer. That is really going to be a game changer. So, what's the problem, perhaps, that you discovered that you decided to get in on it, right? Who inspired you to have that entrepreneurial spirit? I know there's a story in there. People want to hear that story. They want you to go deep beneath the layers of the surface and show the real you, right? Not the, I always talk about it, the cardboard cutout, right? So, what is your why and what is that story? And how can you tell that story so that we can connect with you? So when you can tap into your why, you're going to really start to open up these pathways for people to care about you and to be intrigued with your mission. When you care, others will start to care about you too. Isn't that interesting how that happens? So here's something that I see all the time that I don't like. I don't like when people memorize their About Me video. Now, that sounds absolutely ridiculous, right? You are yourself, your wonderful self. Why do you need to memorize something about yourself? Silly, silly, silly. So don't read off of a teleprompter. This is not the time to be scripted. No, it's not the time to be scripted. This is really the time to be your wonderful, awesome self. Okay? You are not running for president. Maybe you're running the company, but you're not running for president. So ditch that prompter, right? You want to start showing your leadership by trusting yourself and by opening up and showing the wonderful parts of you. So you don't want to start your video with like, "Hi, I'm Jane Doe, president of XYZ company." Instead, I want you to draw me in. I want you to take a stand. I want you to be bold. I want you to just be you. But you don't want to be promotional in this type of video. So I want you to tap into that true personality and bring that person on screen with you, right? Because you're going to create a lot more traction this way. So, for example, my About Me video might be something like, do you feel awkward and uncomfortable with being on video? I get it. I was there too. I remember standing on a street corner, shaking in my boots, just wanting to get this thing over with. And I suffered for so long. And, I thought, I don't want to suffer anymore. I want to teach people how to show up and actually be confident on camera. So that's my mission. That's why I got started. And that's a little bit about me. And don't you think that would be a lot more interesting than me showing up and doing a, "Hi, I'm Pat Laurie. I teach people how to be confident on video." People want to know why you're doing something. Why did you get into it? And by telling your story, you're opening up that vulnerability inside of you. You got to start showing yourself in an about me video. People want to know that person. So don't show up and try to be perfect or try to be scripted or try to be rehearsed and try to be that expert that you think you should be. Just be yourself. Give us your why. Show us your heart. That's how we're going to connect. Okay. So I hope you're getting the idea. If you don't show yourself, if you don't open up, if you don't expose your why, you're just going to be another company, another product, another page in a catalog that gets thrown in a fireplace. Don't be that page that gets crumpled up and thrown away. Be memorable. I want you to go for it. I want you to take the time to trust yourself, to practice, to feel comfortable, to get going in small ways. Don't over practice. You got to go for it, but just start. All right. So after you've done your About Me video, maybe you want to move on to something like a team video. Maybe you want to showcase your team members. You've already told people who you are, a little bit about yourself, your company, your why. Who are the people that you've decided to bring on this journey with you? What are their roles? What are their superpowers? How can you shine light on them? Right? It's a team effort. Show the team. So why not try to do something maybe a little bit less stressful? Some people consider this less stressful when you have a video interview. So why not have like a casual coffee chat? You can do this virtually or in person. You can just set up like a casual coffee chat and, bring the person on and start to talk about real things, right? You'll get that know, like, and trust factor up really quickly, right? So have a conversation, do an interview, chill out, just be authentic, you know, show up and start talking about like how you work together, how you solve problems for customers. Maybe talk about an actual, project that you just completed that you were so proud of. Yeah, when we got this thing, we weren't sure about how that was going to work out. But then Sue came in and she had this idea. And we said, we have the tools and the inspiration and the equipment and the ingenuity to do all this. And we got it done. And it's never been done before. And the client was psyched. But I want to hear that story, right? Tell that story. So how do you prepare to do something like this? Well, you got to decide, what is the purpose of this video, of this coffee chat, right? Is it to inspire people? Is it just to, show your authenticity? Is it to educate people about a process, right? And is it to just create awareness about the breadth of projects that you do? Are you trying to be like entertaining, just like off the cuff? I mean, this is a great time to just let loose and be yourself when you have a coffee chat, right? Because the expectations are kind of like, you're going to have fun, you're going to get to know someone, but maybe someone will learn something along the way too. And wouldn't that be awesome? Right? So before you get started with this, I want you to think about, what are your warm-up questions going to be? What is the conversation going to look like? I don't want you to just wing it, because when you wing it, things can go awry. Things can go into all different kinds of directions, and you can really get lost. And then you can try to like figure out, how can I recover from this? So you don't want to do that. You want to have a purpose. You want to practice. You want to decide like which stories will best showcase what we're trying to get across here with our product, service, idea, innovation. Right? And you're going to decide where you want to shoot this video. Is this going to be remote? Is this going to be in person? It's perfectly fine to do a virtual coffee chat. That's fine. Just hold up that mug. Oh, my invisible mug. Take a sip. And just be yourself. Just be human. You know what? If you need a sip of water, take a sip of water. You are not. This is my fake microphone, by the way. It's my powder brush. You're not a reporter standing up in front of like a step and repeat background, ready to be perfect, right? You just want to be yourself. So I love it when you can do this interview and you can do this coffee chat. You can really just be yourself, right? And you can have fun. And that's what it's all about, having fun, not feeling like you're in the electric chair. All right, the third type of content that you can create, which really boosts your credibility more than a lot of other types of videos, is the customer testimonial. So this can really build your credibility fast, because you're going to people that you've worked with, and it's, proven that you've done something for them. They've gotten some kind of result. They were thrilled with what you were able to accomplish. And what better way to boost that credibility than to have someone speak about your company, your brand, your service on your behalf. Others talking about your greatness. Of course, that's wonderful. I know it can be kind of uncomfortable, though, to ask clients uh, to do something like this, but you can make it, more pain-free if you just sort of put it out there and say, hey, listen, let's set up a Zoom call. Trying to figure out how we can help more customers like you. And of course, you've had a positive track record with this customer, and you know that they're absolutely thrilled with what you've been able to accomplish for them. Set up a quick Zoom call. It's going to be 15 minutes of your time. I'm just going to ask you 2 or 3 questions, going to record the conversation, and then I'm going to take that interview that I do and I'm going to chop it up into, probably a 30-second sound bite, right? And put that video testimonial up on our social or up on our website. So all you have to do is generate that Zoom call, record it, and get them to answer a couple of questions. What business are you in? And what challenge or struggle were you facing? Soundbite number 1. How did my company work to help solve that problem? Soundbite number 2. Would you recommend our company to others and why? Soundbite number 3. Ooh, what a beautiful story. You got 3 sound bites back to back. You can decide to create one story altogether or 3 individual little standalone clips about how awesome you are. And there you have it. There's your customer testimonial. So you see, there's many different ways that you can start talking about your business brand ideas, company, employees. I mean, you can go all over the place. You can do an unboxing, you can teach someone something, you can do an office tour, you can provide, of course, tips and tricks and everything, educate people about anything that you have to offer, because we are hungry to know and to get that value from you, right? And so I would say, no matter what kind of content you are creating, you always have to think about that value. What is the value proposition? Why should someone care? Why should I give about what you're saying? So when you always have that value in your mind, you can't go wrong. And don't forget to have that call to action at the end, because you want to remind people what you want them to do. Do you want them to book a strategy call? Do you want them to reach out? Are you giving away something free? Be sure to do that call to action, because that's a nice little bow to wrap it all up, make it nice and neat, and make sure that your business brand or idea is represented in the very best way, Brandon. And those are just some content ideas I have for you on this episode of Power Up.